All right, let's bring in now retired Army Major General John Wharton, senior advisor with the Chertoff Group. General, thank you so much for being with us. First of all, let's just start with these accusations, coming from both sides now of violations of this temporary truce. Just talk about the absolute fragility of the situation right now in northern Gaza.
Well, I think it is very fragile, and it's a very complex operation right now. But I also think that, this is where you hear the terms the fog of war. And I suspect that these random shots and fires are some of the degradation of Hamas's command and control network. And do they effectively command and control? Can they get word out to everyone on their side that they're at a ceasefire? And if those were explosions, were they already mines that were laid, or were they deliberate in violation of the ceasefire? I think the ceasefire is holding pretty good, is what can be expected at this time. And we're hoping that it'll last at least for the next couple days.
Well, General, there's some criticism from those against this pause, saying, that it does give Hamas, a terrorist organization, a chance to potentially regroup, to re-strategize. Is that just part of a chance that has to be taken in an effort to get those hostages home safely?
Yeah, I believe so, because what you're looking at, anytime you have an operational pause in an operation, you build and generate and regenerate combat power. And that could be what's happening here, but the trade-off is our lives that are at stake from the hostages. So is that gamble, the ability to let Hamas regain and strengthen their forces at the expense of life? And I think the right decisions are being made, that we're putting the priority where the priority needs to be, on human life.
Well, you certainly know how war works, and Israel is vowing to resume the war with full force once this temporary pause is over. We'll see if it is again extended. Do you think the bombardment, though, will immediately go back to pre-pause, back to the same level of bombardment?
Well, I think you have to be very careful now if you're Israel or the Israeli Defense Forces, because you're trying to control the narrative. And you're in a very complex operation. You're talking about a dense urban environment. You're talking about asymmetric warfighting. You're talking about subterranean. And then when you add in things like the evacuation of non-combatants from the battlefield, and then the bringing in of civil military operations and humanitarian non-governmental organizations to help provide care here, it's a very complex situation in a very compressed area. I would suspect that the message for Israel would be to be more precision in your strikes as the world opinion is watching. You still have to take out Hamas, push south, but you also have to protect the civilians. And I think that should be the emphasis here. There's enough precision weapons that you don't need the collateral damage, and world opinion is watching you. So I would be recommending that you minimize collateral damage.
This pause, we know, had been worked on for weeks prior to it being announced. What types of negotiations are likely happening behind the scenes right now, as we speak?
Well, I think it's all the above what you're hearing, right? One is a ceasefire. Two is a hostage change and release. And then third is probably recognition, some discussion of what Hamas wants, which would be recognition as a formal entity here. So I suspect those three topics are being discussed. The first one is underway with the ceasefire. The second one is the hostage exchange and release. And if you're Hamas, you're really trying to preserve your capability as an organization. And it's not just a military defeat here. It's how do you establish and keep the ideology in place?
And what happens after the fighting is done, General? Is enough focus being put on the after of it all, or does it really have to remain right now on fighting?
Well, I think it's that complex operation that we're talking about, right? You have to fight, you have to hold, you have to destroy, you have to clear the areas. And so you can't stop that. At the same time, you have to take care of the local civilian populace and the refugees camps, and you have to worry about medical treatment and about disease and water and electricity and all those things that are necessities. So I think it's premature to talk about life afterwards. I think you need to see more non-governmental organizations come in, aid companies come in, medical companies come in to help facilitate the displaced civilians.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.